Hello everyone and welcome to the Horrido campaign for the Focke-Wulf 190 Anton in DCS World. And so yes, I am very well aware that the vote went to the Gamblers campaign, but as many of you may know, the Syria campaigns right now are in a very bugged state and just aren't working very well. And so I was trying to fill time while patches get made, but I decided I may as well just start the Horrido campaign, which was the leading non-Syria campaign that got voted for. So this campaign is by Reflected Simulations, the same guy who did the Jagdflieger campaign, which is the first one that I actually featured on this channel. The first ever video I posted on this channel is actually from the Jagdflieger campaign. I really enjoyed it. In terms of the setting, this is August 1944, and so things are not going very well for the Germans at this point. And so we are taking control of a very rookie division here, mostly made of brand new pilots who, in the opening introduction in the background here, crash into the ground and die, which was very common at the time. And so we're to try and take these raw recruits and try and train them up into something better, or at least try and keep them alive for an extra couple of weeks. Now, one thing I really like about Reflected's campaigns is that they are very open-ended. Pretty much to win the mission, you just need to take off. That's about it, and then not actively die. You don't have to complete primary objectives, secondary objectives, you don't have to get so many kills or anything like that. It is just a case of doing your best during the mission, which I find really fun. It's really quite immersive, just going up trying to do your best rather than having to bash your head against the same mission over and over. Now, other thing to note is all the voice acting in this campaign is in German. The subtitles will be in the top right corner if you can make that out. Otherwise, I will go through any of the major things just in case you do not speak German and you're not actually watching this on the screen at the time. So as for what this mission is doing in particular, we have been ordered to fly some air cover for a U-boat that is making its way into port. It has been damaged by a British destroyer and so needs to come into port. It's coming into Calais. Unfortunately, we have found out that the French resistance have let it be known that it is on its way in, and so we're expecting some nasty things to show up to try and sink it before it can make it into the submarine pen. And so we're just there to fly top cover for this, keep an eye out and see what's going on. So by the time we arrive, the submarine is already in the port. I'm not sure if that's just because it took me a while to get started up, because I was messing around a little bit and forgetting how to start up the Anton. But either way, it's already in port when we arrive there. We do then get given the option as to whether or not we want to do a low pass over this. For, you know, hearts and minds, make the crew happy they've returned, and there's quite a crowd on the dock waiting for the submarine to come in. And so I decide, well, of course I'm going to. It's definitely not the wisest choice in this situation, but if a game gives me a choice of doing a low pass over a submarine, I'm gonna do it. Then just a couple of minutes later is where everything goes wrong. So we spot bombers, and we get immediately told that we need to stop them before they reach the harbour. One thing that is going to really be a pain during this mission is this canopy reflection. I used to have a mod that really made this a lot less horrific, but as it is, I get very poor visibility at certain angles. I do have an option to call in reinforcements, so I do that now. Unfortunately, it's going to take them 5 minutes to arrive, so by the time I arrive, we are going to be in trouble. Now, I do mess up there. I take so long getting my wingman the order to actually engage that the bombers fly right past me. And by the time I turn back around, they've already started dropping their bombs. So yeah, not great. U-boat's been hit. Couple of explosions on the very crowded dock. I try and nip my nose around here. I do completely forget that I do have fuel tanks on and should probably have just ditched them. And then immediately as we start to engage, we do get alerted that Spitfires are on the way. On the bright side, one of the enemy planes does get hit very badly there and is now very much in flames. I do unfortunately overshoot the one that I was going for. Trying to check my 6 but can't see anything in the canopy reflection. Decide just to bypass the one that I have gone by and start attacking this one up ahead. Now, not too used to these, has been a little bit since I've been particularly practiced, so I do keep missing the controls here. But slowly gaining on this guy, aiming for his wing, really trying to aim for the engine more than anything, end up pointing at the other engine and decide, well, that'll do. Fire a couple more hits, it's more of a fire. The bombers in this can survive fires a lot better than the planes can, the fighters can, but do give just one more little shot there, rip off his tail. That is one going down, so there we go, I did something. That was one of the 3 bombers down, the other one's been taken down by my wingman. Reiterate my orders to start attacking as I'm trying to get around on this bomber. Does acknowledge there that I have shot one down. Yeah, trying to get eyes, get a little bit disoriented, mostly because for some reason the bomber turns back in. I'm guessing he is now trying to make a second pass on that dock. He must not have dropped all his bombs in the first pass. So, fair enough, I turn around, dive back in. We can see fire is being exchanged in the distance. So the Spitfires are around, I just can't see any of them. And so I'm just focusing on this guy, deciding, well, I may as well try and use up a lot of my ammo. Realise that I never actually opened my radiator flaps. And so quickly open them, because I imagine at this point the engine might be getting hot, so I should have really checked it, but just at the point that I thought that I should be checking it, this chap starts shooting back at me. And so just really focus on him, trying to stay evasive here. I think he's now stopped firing at me. These A-20s do have a bit of a blind spot if you're right on their tail. So putting in rounds in here, a lot of rounds across him. Unfortunately, he just shrugs that lot off. Now, I actually had more ammo than I thought. I heard the sound changing, but I do still have heavy cannon ammo here, so I could probably have gone in for another pass. But as I turn around, I do see Spitfire behind me. And now you can really see what I mean about the canopy. I just can't see anything out that window. There is a Spitfire out there. You can see it being highlighted by all of the fire coming in. Also realised that some of my wingmen have rejoined formation rather than continuing to engage. I do take a little bit of a knock there. I don't know if that was a Spitfire or some friendly AA that's hitting me. That time that was definitely a Spitfire that hit me. But the nice thing about the Anton is it is pretty tanky, so it can take a hit. Right now it's doing just fine, it's trucking just fine. Do have the Spitfire right on my tail though. Again, sort of lose sight as I go round. See the Spitfire again. Do manage to get it to overshoot. That's not really what I would want to do, because I'm now in a very low energy state against a Spitfire. So I'm just really hoping here that the ground can take care of this more than anything. Just doing my best to stay alive. Unfortunately, this is not the only Spitfire in the area. So I'm trying to get eyes, multiple targets flying around. Some are friendly, some are definitely not friendly. Mostly trying to stay evasive and keep my eye out for a chance to do something. And then I get hit. Bad enough hit that I'm on fire. And so bail before anything gets worse. Play ends up going down over Calais. Meanwhile, the battle goes on without me. But that is mission success. As I said, this game is very open about what it counts as a success. We are very much the underdogs here. We are not expected to be winning. We're just doing our best to survive more than anything. And so I'll take that. I took out a enemy 2-engine plane, A-20 there. And my wing managed to cripple another one. And so yeah, definitely taking that. And definitely looking forward to this campaign. Let me know what you have been thinking about this, and hopefully I will catch you in a future mission going forward. Until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.